All right, morning everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers. Big up to anybody new. Gratitude to you. Let's talk about Opetaia versus Mairis Briedis. This is a rematch from a phenomenal fight, really. That was a really great fight where Opetaia won the title, the IBF, back in 2019, I think it was. Since then, Opetaia has been stripped. Mairis Briedis hasn't fought, and now they're fighting each other again for the vacant IBF title. This is an absolute cracker. Look, Opetaia, I mean, if you've been watching this channel or if you've been following this channel, you know that, I'm very high on this guy. His mentality is second to none. His dedication, his commitment, just his fearsomeness. He's a fierce dude. He is looking even more intense in the lead up to this fight. He is ready to go. He's been ready to go. And look, a lot of people think he's going to really do some damage on Briedis. We're going to get into all the particulars. I'm going to show a lot of footage. I meant to do this video a few days ago. I've been really busy. I've got the Fury Usyk prediction video coming later today as well. But better late than never. I also might go live. I probably will go live tomorrow just for the Opetaia fight, because I have to work Saturday night. So I'll find a way to catch the Fury fight. I'm gonna get the pay-per-view, but I'll probably go live for the Opetaia and some of the prelims as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll also shoot it in the not commentary box, what is it, the community tab, and I'll leave a live tab there, and I'll hopefully people be aware of it. But anyway, on to the fight. So look, the first fight was a really good fight, a lot of ebbs and flows. Opetaia came out very strong. He actually badly hurt Briedis. I think it might have been the 4th round.
Oh, uppercuts a beauty.
Hurt him. It hurt him.
He's hurt him, and chasing is Opetaia late in this round,
where Briedis' face looked pretty busted up, and it was actually a lead uppercut that did a lot of the damage for both fighters. Now, Opetaia's was landing loads of different shots. He's got a very beautiful, arsenal and selection of punches. His back left hand is probably his main.
His right hand, and Opetaia comes forward with a beautiful left hand. Briedis is looking for.
Nice left hand.
Damaging punch, as you saw in the Jordan Thompson fight as well. He was doing a lot of damage with that, and that is what is based off of that Eastern European bouncing pendulum step, and then time it, come in, step on the outside, and then boom, strike. But he was catching Briedis with a lot of different shots, but specifically a lead uppercut, and he's also been practicing that. So I fully expect, and I think with the lead uppercut, and why I think it's important in this fight for Opetaia is, look, Briedis is extremely clever. He's extremely sneaky. He's extremely experienced, very tough man, but he's a wily veteran at this point. So uppercuts are a little harder to see, right? Now, when you have your high guard like that, which Briedis does, if you think about it, if your gloves are up here, there's a lot of this vision that you can't really see. And when uppercuts come from down here, especially a lead uppercut, especially if it's thrown with a bit of velocity and speed and spite, which Opetaia definitely does, I think there's opportunities. With that very same notion that it wasn't Opetaia, it was Briedis' backhand uppercut, because he's an orthodox. He was doing some serious damage with Opetaia with that.
From Briedis. Uppercut as well, and a good shot from Briedis. Big uppercut. Shot.
So in the same notion that Opetaia is going to have some success with that lead uppercut, he has to be in position to land it, which means he's in position to take one. So he's got to be careful. And one thing that actually Briedis was a couple of things. I'll cover it all in this video. If you watch how many times Opetaia was getting countered with his lead left hand, right?
Briedis.
Oh, there it is.
Right on the money.
And Briedis was waiting for it. And it wasn't like Opetaia was really shooting it lazily, or, it wasn't as crispy as you'd like, but he was throwing that lead hand in punching range. Briedis was seeing it and coming up underneath.
Big uppercut. Shot. Major shot from Briedis. And Opetaia.
And cracking him. And that's actually how he hurt Opetaia badly. He also, in the 10th, when he broke his jaw, I think he broke his jaw in 2 places. Some people said he might have broken his jaw in the earlier rounds. I'll show you the clip where it might have happened. It was the same exact situation.
From Briedis. Uppercut as well, and a good shot from Briedis.
Where he was reading that lead, that Opetaia was in punching range, shot the lead left hand, Briedis saw it, bang, uppercut, both times. And he caught it. I'll pull clips up. Multiple times, Briedis was able to see this and counter it. Now, I'd like to hopefully see them sharpen those punches up, you know, instead of just throwing like a normal, I guess, left hand, lead left hand, but like, you know, it's just something to think about for Opetaia's team. But Opetaia's lead right uppercut probably did more damage. You know, I mean, like it's a beautiful shot. Maybe if you could, like, bring in that back uppercut too, because I know he's been practicing. In that, I say that was a footage that I saw, and when he was just repeatedly doing the same punch. You know, it might just be a red herring, so to speak, but I think they've been working on that. I think there's some opportunities there, not to mention with all the other punches I said as well, because that back left hand had a lot of success as well. I think it's going to be a really good fight, and I think Opetaia is going to... Look, he said he was a boy back then, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to be facing him if I was Mairis Briedis, because he's coming from strength to strength. I know he hasn't fought the best opposition, Opetaia, since then, but you can just see that, you know, they're in the gym learning. So 2 years in the gym hard, maybe 2.5 years hard in the gym with fights. You know, this is his moment, really. You know, another one of many moments that he's gonna just show how good and how fearsome this guy is. He's a ferocious guy, and he's gonna really wants to put a hurt. And I think he's lost a lot of respect for Briedis too. They've had a lot of back and forths. He's called him a few words. I won't say on here. YouTube might, you know, tell me off. But I fully expect Opetaia to do a lot of the same thing, just more powerful, more spiteful, but just a bit smarter as well. He's got to be a bit smarter so he doesn't get countered clean with those backhand uppercuts of Mairis Briedis waiting, because when you're coming in on a shot like that, it's almost double the impact, you know, because he was shot like that and bam, the timing was so perfect. Opetaia's head went to the side.
Oh, there it is.
Right on the money.
Oh.
But look, couple of things as well where Briedis, you know, it has got some opportunities. Okay, on the inside now, Opetaia isn't great at fighting on the inside, but there's a difference between, you know, having your opponent hurt and backing them up and shooting shots and finding shots on the inside, you know. But I'm talking about fighting on the inside, right, where you're grappling, you're wrestling a little bit, okay. And if you watch this clip right here where Briedis, they're kind of grappling a little bit, and then he starts to square up Opetaia. That's deliberate, because you can see him push him there, and then you can see Briedis's back leg starts to step backwards so he can get the base and he can get his balance under him, right? And he can get a better position, right? Once he's got that, he then shoots off a left hook and a straight right hand to his chest. It's really sneaky, good inside work from Briedis. And if you look at Opetaia, he doesn't really know what to do in there. And that's the difference when you have a good fighter that fights on the inside and someone that is still learning, I would say, because Opetaia's style, that bouncing Eastern European style, with more power and more aggression Opetaia has, is not conducive to fighting on the inside. You know, a lot of fighters don't find themselves on the inside, and it's like it would take a long time to really learn and get good, and Briedis is very good on the inside. I'll show you a couple of other clips here where he just kind of sneaks in, initiates the clinch a little bit. Opetaia doesn't think there's much going on. Briedis sneaks in an uppercut.
Nice left hand again, Opetaia. Briedis finds an uppercut on the inside and punches over the top as well. You've
got to be careful when Briedis initiates these clinches. He's looking to do some work. He's looking for you to not work, and he's looking to take advantage of the situation. There's another clip here where Briedis, they're kind of locking horns, or Briedis shoots a right hand to the stomach, and then he gets his right hand underneath Opetaia's arm, shoots up an uppercut. There might have been another shot in there too. Some of them, not all of them, hit directly, but it's his understanding of what he can do in there, Briedis, and the opposite. Opetaia sometimes looks like, you know, he just doesn't quite know what to do. You know, not yet. And this was 2.5 years ago, so maybe he's, you know, they've learned a lot, because that's the thing. That's one of the many reasons I love listening to this guy, because that's all they do. Go back to the gym. He's in the gym days later. Same with Tim Tszyu. Shout out to the Australians locked in. Those guys are animals in the gym, and they want to get better and better and better and better every single time. It's a full-time, full-blown career for them. They're committed all the way, and Opetaia's been fighting since he was 7. His parents have basically kept him in there, and he's just been dedicated. He loves it, and now he's reaping the rewards, and he's just getting started. But the inside game for me, there are some opportunities for Briedis if he's able to get in there, initiate clinches, and, you know, just kind of let those sneaky shots off, because they are sneaky. Briedis, he's a sneaky fighter. You know, he can really draw you in. And the main thing that I want to focus on, I've talked about this several times on this channel. I did a film study on Opetaia, I talked about it in that. But it's called a rhythm step, right? It's where Opetaia's, when he's doing that forward bouncing, and he's striking, and he's in the range and he's out of range, that's fine, especially if he's punching. It's when he stops and then he'll just bounce up, right? And when he's bouncing up, his feet are slightly in the air. Briedis times it, and as Opetaia's landing, there's a few milliseconds where you can definitely get your shots off. And I'll show you several clips where Briedis was absolutely timing that, and he was catching Opetaia in the middle of that rhythm step, if you will.
Beautiful.
Oh, big right hand. This was the moment. Was looking for that right hand to the body. There's a right hand over the...
And it's a dangerous place to be for Opetaia, because you can't really do that much. You can't really defend yourself for those few milliseconds. Very detailed stuff. But Briedis has got absolutely some opportunities there. So when Opetaia's, if he's not bouncing forward with some kind of purpose or some kind of shot, or looking like he's going to shoot, and then he's bouncing back, he's fine. It's when he gets stuck in this middle bounce area, if that makes sense. Briedis has got loads of opportunities, and I'll show, like I said, hopefully I would have pulled up some clips. I'll pull up some clips to show you what I'm talking about, because it's very prevalent and it's very obvious. Briedis was figured that out. Maybe not till the late rounds, but he figured that out, and he was having some seriously good success with clean right hands straight to Opetaia's face. He's got to watch out for that. Outside of that, I think, to be honest with you, I think it's going to be a fairly, I don't want to say one-sided. I don't think anyone's dominated Briedis at all, ever. In fact, they haven't. Obviously, his only losses have come to Opetaia and Alexander Usyk, where that was, I think it was a majority decision. Yeah, he fought Usyk quite well, especially early on. But I do think Opetaia is going to be the clear winner. The question is, will it be a stoppage? A lot of people do think it's going to be a stoppage, and I agree with that. The only thing I'll say is, will depend on Briedis's commitment, right? If he wants to really let it hang out, you know, he's almost 40. Is he going to feel that power? He's going to feel the ferocity of this young man. Is he going to want to really open up and go toe-to-toe at some point? Maybe toe-to-toe is a bit extreme, but really let his, how can I say this? Desire to not get knocked out open up. Or, you've got to just understand that you might get knocked out to win the fight. And he's capable of doing it, for sure. He was trying to win the fight desperately in the last one. He's a tough guy. Do you know what I mean? But it brings me back to Mikhail Kessler versus Joe Calzaghe a little bit, where it was like the 10th round, Kessler was down on the cards, and the HBO were like, wow, man, Kessler's fighting. Yeah, I love how he's fighting. I think Manuel Stewart mentioned how, he really enjoyed watching Kessler in the 10th, and in the 12th, Max Kellerman was like, Kessler's fighting like an animal.
But at least Kessler is trying. He realizes that he's losing. He's fighting as if there's some anxiety and anticipation of trying to win the fight. He hasn't given up like a lot of guys would do.
Kessler's fighting like an animal right now.
But I like that.
I love it. I love that, and they love that. And I was like, wow, if Briedis does that, then I think he could open himself up and get sparked out. But will he do that? I personally don't think he will, just because I think, you know, and it's not to say that there'll be a massive issue if he doesn't do that. You know, if he puts up a good fight and there's a couple of rounds left, I personally don't think he's going to really, most fighters don't, to be honest. When you're at the back end of your career, you've got that Saudi bag. The last thing you want to do after an illustrious, great career is to get sparked out on a massive stage. You know, although as much as I love it when fighters do go for it, and I actually, you know, would rather see that. I think most of us would. You know, there's something about just keeping it. And I'm not saying Briedis is going to play it safe either. I think he'll just understand how to just maybe lose the fight without getting stopped, because he's that crafty and that good. But he'll give it a little bit, but just not enough where he wants to really open up and really sell out too hard, you know. But maybe I could be wrong. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is a great fight. As I said, I will be going live tomorrow. Yeah, it's Friday now. So I hope you guys have a lovely weekend, whatever you do. Again, apologies for this being a little bit late. I did have a lot of stuff going on, but more videos coming next week. Fury Usyk breakdown coming later today as well. Peace and love. I'm out of here boxing on the edge.
Opetaia taking big shots, staying on his feet and hanging on. What a fight we've seen.
Boxing.
On the edge.